Hey, what's up, guys? Uh, just getting back, going through some of our stuff again, and I kind of wanted to talk about a little bit of a nervous situation that we had um, this past summer while we were doing our habituation. And I was just going to let a little clip play for you and do some talking, and then at the end, I wanted to show you some interesting things. And so let's get started here. Look at little tree structure here. I don't remember this. Dude, you know what it looks like? It looks like they had a sugar buzz and went nuts. What is this? There's my bag. Look at. Look at. There's a footprint right here. There's a footprint right there. What's that? It sounds like a whoop. Look at all this stuff, guys. It's a mess. Look at that bag. So we don't know what it was. What?
What is it? Are those pines?
Yo, that's a good catch, bro. There's no pines over here. They brought it here.
They must have. I don't know.
I don't know, maybe. What I tell people is sometimes you can receive gifts or things in odd places, so pay attention to that. Our other team member actually noticed that. It was a good catch. That's a gift? All I want to do is get the game. Look at, they moved the game cam.
That's nice to know. Check the other.
You guys see the game cam? They slid it sideways.
Wow, this is like carnage over here. What's that red thing?
Where's the kettle?
Kettle's gone.
Shh.
It's on the other side of the tree.
As you notice, about a minute ago, I stated I thought I heard a whoop. And then we keep saying, shh, be quiet, because you could continually hear things up on the ridge. In a few minutes here, you're going to hear some noises that kind of sound like a crow. One may be a crow, the other may not be. Because it sounds like some audio that we caught. And I believe that they're either mimicking or he does these screams. And I believe it's a juvenile that does these screams. And that's why once in a while you'll hear me do them in the videos.
Hear that? How is that?
I don't know. Oh my god.
They broke the glass?
No, I'm shh. See, again, I say shh because I hear something up on the ridge. But if you notice, guys, I want to point one thing out to you. I don't know anybody that can eat Cheetos, cheese puffs, Doritos, any type of, candy or anything like that, chips per se, that don't leave crumbs anywhere. So you'll see the bags are like not ripped open. They're like a human opened them. Do you see what I'm saying? They're not all bitten up. They're like they used their hands and opened them up. And they left no crumbs. There's not any crumbs of any of this food anywhere. Yeah, I get scavengers, but they're gonna leave something on the ground, and there should be orange cheese puffs everywhere. But you don't see that. It's here. It's screaming. You hear it? Yo, he's screaming and whistling. We hear screaming and whistling.
I gotta replenish this, guys. Really, really. Look at, they broke the plastic containers. Is there? There's some ink down there. You keep your
Now, my researcher said he heard a whoop on one side and a scream on the other side.
eyes open, bro. All I'm doing is changing game cam and batteries. Get up here and stand right here. They opened. Listen, actually, go around, stick all these wrappers in your backpack. Alright? Really quickly. Oh shit. Oh shit. He's coming. Shut up. He's coming, guys.
Now, what I want you to listen to is the two different distinct tones. A lot of people say, oh, that could be a crow. Well, if you listen in the background, you can actually hear a crow afterwards, and they totally sound different. There's a different pitch to the two. One is like a scream, the other one is more like a crow sound. Which is funny because in some of our other audio that we've captured, we hear the screams, and then we'll hear like this certain crow. I don't know if it has a connection or if these two are connected somehow, but it's really weird. When we caught some vocalizations, actual language, with phenoms, so on and so forth, you could actually distinguish between the crow and the screams. So I'm going to play it through and then I'll play it again for you.
Where is that? What is it? Maybe it is a bird.
Now, did you just hear that? There's two different ones there. You'll hear the bird and the scream. It's totally different. So I'm going to replay that for you.
They opened. Listen, actually, go around, stick all these wrappers in your backpack. Alright? Really quickly. Oh shit. Oh shit. He's coming.
And the one thing I want to point out is that sound was more on the ground, not from the air. So go ahead and listen real close, and you can distinguish the two different sounds.
Shut up. He's coming, guys. Where is that? What is it? Maybe it is a bird.
Now, did you just hear the two difference? You could hear the bird was like, "Rah," and then the screams were a lot louder. So that's just a little something interesting that had us on edge, and I wanted to share that with you.
The marbles, guys. I gotta get this on video. There's no marbles, guys. They broke the tree structure. There's the lid. You guys remember I put the marbles on it. Now look at telltale sign, guys. This is where it was. There's not one marble.
They're back here right now.
Huh?
I said they are back here right now.
I know they are. And look at, there's a footprint right there.
So the reason I put the marbles on top of the lid is common sense thinking. If a scavenger comes in and they scavenge your area and they take all the food that's there, they really don't have an interest in 7 to 10 marbles. So normally the marbles would just be strewn all over the ground right there. But on multiple occasions we would find between 7 and 10 marbles would be taken. So that gave us a kind of like a distinguishing factor. If it was just scavengers, because when the raccoons would come in, we would know the marbles would be there. We believe when the Sasquatches came in, they were taking the marbles. One instance, we actually had our whole kettle taken.
There's not one marble. They took the marbles. That's how you know it's not a scavenger, guys. That's not a scavenger. All right,
This is where I had to cut.
Yeah, all of them. Dude, they're screaming. pissed at us.
No, are you nuts? I don't want to, when we leave. He actually wanted me to
pissed off.
Yeah. Do a whoop.
Like,
so
pissed.
Keep your eyes open.
That is crazy.
I didn't feel it was right to start calling when my area wasn't prepared, so I figured I'd wait till after we left. Troy, these things can hurt you.
I bet. I still hear you.
I don't think I've ever been this nervous.
I'm pretty. That is some type of scat. Oh my god.
I'm lift my head up. I don't want to be looking down.
Don't look down. You keep your head up while I do all this.
I'm gonna find out what the gifts they left us here. They took them back. What if they got mad that we didn't take the gifts?
Dude, my marbles are all
What
gone.
is that by the tree? Did you read something? Where?
Guys, I'm obviously really nervous from what has just happened. With all that yelling.
Yeah, that didn't seem like happy.
That wasn't a bird. That wasn't... It was screaming.
Whatever it was.
Look at more marbles, guys. More marbles. Go on the lid. There's not one marble here. There was how many? 7, right?
7.
7 marbles. They're gone. Scavengers do not take marbles.
Or the gifts that I had up on the tree from them.
1, 2... Here's a big blue one. Big blue marble. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Again.
What I was doing is trying to keep things consistent. If it was 7 marbles, I just kept doing it over and over and over again. This is how we kind of built our rapport with them. Even though I was very nervous this day, I believe if you earn their trust, you will start catching things and getting better evidence.
What? 7 again.
Well, that's why I'm doing that.
Lucky number 7.
I'm being repetitive. Why did they break my tree structure, though?
I don't know. That's what makes me think they're pissed at us.
You know what? I brought the kettle and they got pissed.
Right.
You know why? Because they know they know I'm the same guy that was on the other side that they took my kettle. But can I tell you something? We came here, the kettle was standing up, and the lid was removed. The kettle wasn't knocked over, like a scavenger, right? Now look at nuts in a cup. Nuts in a cup. Candy bars. They get them open.
Those Lucky Charms?
Yep.
Wow, the Bigfoots are lucky.
Nutty bars. Honey buns. Crackers. Crackers.
This will all be gone tomorrow.
Marshmallows. Honey buns. Now, these are little toffee, look at, bit of honeys. I'm going to see if they like the honey taste. And here's a few pointers. The reason we gave them some sugar, a lot of people say not to, but it brings them in. And they may get a little hyper on you, but this is just from experience. Some of the things that were happening is some of these wrappers, we weren't even finding the wrappers anywhere. It's like they were just grabbing them and actually taking them. But some of the wrappers that we did find looked like they were opened by human hands. And, you know, honestly, some of that stuff, you would leave crumbs, like I said before. You would leave crumbs on the ground. You know, go sit in your recliner and grab a bag of Doritos. or have some crackers. When you get up, you're going to have crumbs everywhere. That's kind of what amazed me. The way they would eat with like almost precision. There's no crumbs anywhere. Scavengers usually make a mess. So that's just something to pay attention to.
I'm trying to build an interaction here with them guys. I'm not worried about getting a ton of evidence right now.
Alright, just let them get used to this in a way. Right now,
7 marbles. Now, we put 7 on there last time. The 7 marbles are gone. At all.
Not that I can, see. Did you put the cup there?
Yeah.
Alright.
So we physically got on the ground and we were like looking for the marbles, and they were gone. A lot of people just stand there and kick the leaves. We're on our hands and knees and we were actually looking for the marbles.
Yeah, remake your.
What I'm doing here is I'm actually building my own little tree structure, and what I would do is, it's only like a foot high, but then I would take something like they do. I would take one bigger branch and I would stick it through the middle of it, pointing in the direction of the kettle, to kind of let them know, if that would make sense, that is theirs. If we're following kind of what the tree structures do. A lot of people say, follow the tree structures and it'll lead you somewhere. So I figured, let's build one, maybe get an interaction out of them. But what happened is, it was up for maybe 2 weeks, and they would like put little sticks on it and add to it, but then they just started knocking it down.
And then I'm going to maybe move this. I gotta move the camera.
So this is like the next day, I believe. What I was trying to do is every day, same time, same place. It got repetitive. It cost a lot of money. But for a really long time, we were trying to do the same thing to build their trust. So I'll just share a little bit of this.
I see that.
Now, if you just heard in the background, way back, you could hear the crow. Caw, caw, caw. Totally different than the screams that we heard, and that was one of the relevant points that I wanted to share with you. You can continually hear the crow on this day in the background, and it sounds totally different.
They do it so neatly.
I made that reference because they don't usually rip the bags open because they use their hands. And, usually a scavenger will tear them open. What I'm doing here is just going up there to videotape, see if I can catch anything on the back side of the ridge.
guys. It's not easy. If you guys got some techniques, let me know. If you got anti-blur, use it. If you got anti-shake, use it. Because when you're walking down a hill, trying to take backwards, it's not easy being cheesy, guys. I talked to them. I put stuff out for them. I know they were watching. They were watching me. They always watch me. I've got quite a few compelling footprints down through here, though, which I really like. But I got the angry vibe today. I sent my buddy off to get the recorder, as I am looking around like crazy. Actually, in the vicinity where I had my encounter over there in that high grassy stuff, bushes, foliage. This is the tree I just passed that had the camera leaning against it. Whoa, I thought I just seen something parallel with me. It moved really fast. That was creepy. I think it's about 6 o'clock. They're always coming in here about 6 o'clock. I don't know why. And the woods is real quiet. I got a couple of birds and that's it. I actually got my tripod today, but it's crazy hard to use and hold, and even though it's aluminum. Guys, we're just trying to show what we do. Sometimes we try not to talk much. We get in, we get out. I'll see. That's that sound. It goes, I don't know, but every time I hear him whistle, he'll go, and then he'll do something like, I can't even really do it. But that's like the octave sound that it makes. It's pretty cool.
So, at least you got to see, some of what we do. That's kind of what I wanted to share. And I wanted to share a few things about a couple of main tree structures. Alright, so this is the tree structure that you've seen in multiple videos. Take a good look at it. Count the trees if you want that are here being used in it. But you could definitely see what's going on here. Now what I'm going to do is show you a photo from about a week ago when we went to check the trail cameras. We had a break in weather and we decided to walk up there, switch out the cards, and I'll show you the new photo. So it is from a different angle, but you're looking right here and here, and the rest seems to be gone. This tree seems to be moved over here. It's almost like they dismantled it. You do got a closer shot here, but it got a little blurry on us. But I wanted to show you that this structure looks nothing like it did. So I don't know if they're going to be using this area next year or what the situation is, but for some reason they've like dismantled the structure. This here was a photo from one of our videos. I don't know if it's like a den or some type of structure, but it's definitely piled up. It was from, I think, July. The video is over 72 minutes of off-trail hiking. But it's definitely interesting, and I wanted to share it with you. But if you look, you always see this one main one pointing off by itself in the structures. I don't know. I mean, I have an idea of what that means, but I don't really share too much because I don't know if it's correct. And this photo kind of looked odd to me. This was from this was not from Rolling Hills. This was, I can't really remember offhand, from one of our trips. Now, you can't tell if that's like caved in ground or if there's something like laying there, but we didn't see it. We just kind of like walked by it. We were walking this direction and the one camera caught it. But I can't tell if it's like a hole in the ground or what, or if it is. I mean, I don't know what's going on here, but I just figured I'd share. So I also wanted to point out, here's a second edition to the Bigfoot Field Guide in the Shadows. This is the video analysis in Bigfoot research. This, compares with the other book that I shared with you. The MABRC is their book. They have some good features in here. I suggest you take a look at it. It helps you and shows you how to analyze videos appropriately, so on and so forth. I'll share a few things out of here. This is just a photo where they show it in the quad mode, the 4x4 mode. Here's some other features here, which this is interesting because there's a photo I'll be able to show you here in a second. Where one looked like it was going over a log running away from us. Alright, so this photo, I'd like to thank friend Leonard Mott. He actually found this in one of our videos. So I zoomed that out. It looked like it was laying on the ground, going away from us. Now this is zoomed in, obviously. And we're looking obviously right here, and what I want to show you is when I switch to the next photo. Let's see if I can do this. You can see that there's a difference, and here it is at a bigger screen. That back must be to us. You can see how big it is, and it's on the ground. But I was, into the camera viewer, and in this video we had a couple subjects come down this way, and this one was just sitting there. So let's see if we can roll it. I'm going to try to show movement. Let's see here. There you go. So there's where it looks like it's getting up, sitting down, getting up to go over the log. It's very interesting. It was a good catch on his part. We did not see this in the video. So I was referencing it to that photo, how they show it laying down or possibly being on the ground. I'll leave it still for a second in case you guys are really looking. You can almost see the legs where it goes to stand up or something, and go up over that log. Very intriguing. Thanks, Leonard. I also currently read a book, Grover Krantz's Bigfoot Sasquatch Evidence, and I just wanted to share some of these. These casts were made by Titmus. They were about 10 consecutive tracks after Bob Patterson's here they have listed movie, but I just wanted to share that. Some of the good stuff they have in these books. I tell people you gotta read, educate yourself on the situation, past, present, future if you can, because that's just going to make you a better researcher in the long run. Here's some more tracks from a non-sighting in the Blue Mountains, 1982. Very interesting. You could start to pay attention to dermal ridges and stuff like that. For people that are new to this, that's kind of like your foot's fingerprint. And this one shows skin detail on the side of the cast, where they state that if there is like a dermal ridge or skin detail on the side of the foot per se, that it can't be faked, because when you pull the foot out of the mud, it would actually ruin that sidewall. So I thought that was an interesting point to make. Last but not least, I don't know if you've ever visited vortex hunters, and what they do is, you know, since we're talking about Bigfoot, the paranormal, a lot of different aspects, I started researching some of this here. They have kind of like the biggest database in the United States, where they, maybe even in the world, where they track hotspots, vortexes. So it's something I suggest you look into. They didn't have one listed here for New York in my area, but I did write them and contact them and let them know the things that we've been finding. So what I did is I tried to correspond our area, and what this is a map of ley lines. So I have two versions. I have this version that runs above Buffalo, kind of right through my hometown here. And then I have this version where it runs south of Buffalo. So I don't know which one would be correct, but either way, our area would sit kind of right in the middle where my pointer is. So that could be a reason for the energy hotspots. I'm going to try to do some more research on this year, pay attention to it just a little bit more. Like I said, I got to keep grounded, but I have to explore all aspects, because if not, I'm not staying true to my research. So I suggest, you know, pay attention to ley lines in your area, maybe find your own hotspots, see what type of evidence you start catching. And the very last thing I want to talk about is something we're going to employ this year. Once we get into our core locations, we sit down, like we've been doing, you know, observing, but we're going to start to use sign language up in the air, because in one of our videos, we were kind of intrigued to see what we believe the Sasquatch pick its arm up and put it to its mouth, his hand to his mouth. So we don't know if that was food or sign language or certain things. You know, so we were looking up words like friend and really studying it and trying to learn how to do sign language. So maybe they see that and maybe they'll understand it. You know, so this is how to do friend, where you interlock your fingers and so on and so forth. Here's your alphabet, your basic alphabet in sign language. The ASL is your definitive spot to go and search. Here's how to say hello, kind of like a salute. For a handshake and stuff like that, kind of sign of agreement. I'm going to try to employ these techniques and see if they see it and if they understand what I'm saying, because like I tell people, I feel that they're watching more than we think, whether they're in the trees or on the ground. But we're going to start doing this and see if it makes a difference. If you're out there researching, try a bunch of new techniques. You never know what's going to work. It's hit and miss, but you know, in a way, you're employing your own science to try to see what reactions you get. Like I said, the end game is to prove it. So, alright guys, hope you liked the video. Like, sub, share, subscribe, do it all. Until next time, later.